Shares in Asia were mostly lower on the first trading day of 2019 on the back of a turbulent 2018 that saw most major global stock exchanges end the year with significant losses. South Korea's Kospi slipped 1.52%. The ASX 200 in Australia ended its trading day lower by 1.57%. The Japanese stock markets were closed for a public holiday today. The Shanghai Composite fell 1.15%, while the Shenzhen Composite finished 0.905% lower. Meanwhile, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index fell around 3% as of its final hour of trading, with shares of Chinese tech heavyweight Tencent declining approximately 2.4%. And U.S. stock index futures pulled back on the first trading day of the new year as more disappointing economic data from China hampered global risk appetite. At around 5:20 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday morning, Dow futures fell 323 points, indicating a negative open of more than 360 points. Futures on the S&P and Nasdaq were also seen relatively downbeat. Wall Street concluded trading in 2018 on Monday, with all major stock indices registering their worst yearly performances since the financial crisis. On the data front, investors are likely to closely monitor manufacturing PMI data for December at around 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. And away from the equities markets and now to the crude oil market. Nigeria's crude oil production rose to 2.09 million barrels per day in 2018, compared with 1.86 million barrels per day the year before. This is according to the state oil company, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. Africa's largest oil producer, which is an OPEC member, relies on crude sales for around 2/3 of government revenue. The group managing director of NNPC, Mekanti Baru, says Nigeria has maintained a line of consistent year-on-year improvement. And Qatar's withdrawal from the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries took effect on Tuesday, January 1, ending its nearly 60-year membership in the group. Qatar's Minister of State for Energy Affairs announced the withdrawal decision in December, and OPEC responded that they respect Qatar's decision. It is the first time that a Middle East nation has left the organization since its founding in 1960. Meanwhile, oil markets dropped by around 1% in 2019's first trading on Wednesday, pulled down by surging U.S. output and concerns about an economic slowdown in 2019 as factory activity in China, the world's biggest oil importer, contracted. International Brent crude futures for March were at $53.27 per barrel, down 53 cents. West Texas Intermediate futures were at $45.01 per barrel. And Africa has seen a boom in technological breakthroughs and innovation in recent years, and 2018 was no different. A number of young innovators showed why homegrown solutions are the answer to many of the continent's developmental challenges. In our Africa Economy Review, the coming report looks at the innovation space.
Some analysts believe that African nations have no better alternative than to place technology and innovation at the sharp end of any plans to catapult past decades of marginalization and underdevelopment. 2018 saw the continent embrace a mix of homegrown innovation and technology invented elsewhere but adapted for local use. For example, South Africa launched an ATM-like vending machine to dispense medicines to patients who have chronic illnesses such as HIV/AIDS, in a move aimed at reducing wait times and congestion in public health care facilities. Cameroonian programmer Zuo Bruno created an internet-free application to track cars when the government shut down the internet during a crisis in the country's Anglophone region. About 50 Cameroonian companies have signed up, and Bruno has expanded his business into Ghana and Nigeria.
We'll send an SMS from the owner's phone to the car, and this SMS is telling the car to immobilize, that is to stop the engine from functioning. And once this SMS arrived from the car, from the phone to the car is going to stop. And as you can see, the car has stopped. And right now, even a new engine cannot bring back this car to life. But of course, the owner can send another SMS telling the car to come back to normalcy. And it can even allow the owner to locate where the car is at any point in time.
Rwanda is embarking on the world's first blockchain project to track its mining of tantalum, the mineral used in mobile phones. It wants to win over foreign investors by showing it's a reliable, conflict-free source of minerals. At a mine in Ngororero, western Rwanda, the system was demonstrated using mobile phones' facial recognition software and GPS tracking to follow resources from the mine to a refinery in Macedonia and on to buyers.
Rwanda has demonstrated without a doubt that the minerals coming from Rwanda are conflict-free, and that's not questionable whatsoever. But now what we are looking at is how to continue to demonstrate that with a solution that is cost-effective, that is efficient, and that is adopting also modern technologies that are consistent with how the rest of the world are doing this.
EarthRanger is another digital platform that was developed by international partners for niche use on the continent. It was developed by U.S. philanthropist and Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen as a response to the surge in ivory poaching in Africa, where the elephant population dropped around 20% between 2006 and 2015. In its early stages of development, the tech platform was named the Domain Awareness System.
What we do with DAS is we monitor all our assets, every colored animal, and we also input data, which in turn helps us make decisions and plan operations on when we extract the data and analyze.
Alina Peters may soon be out of a job, though Sophia or her descendants could interface better with the EarthRanger. The software for Sophia, the world's first humanoid robot, was partly developed by an artificial intelligence research company in Addis Ababa. She even speaks some Amharic.
More aspirational than like your unconscious cinema.
We are in the leading edge of AI and blockchain. But nobody thinks that this image is true. Nobody thinks that this is the reality.
Techies hope that moves made by government to open up the economy will take hold in 2019.
And after the break, we cross over to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for update on the first trading day activities in the new year. To stay with us.